So I would count that as an agreement. So we're 4-for-4 in agreements. The next game is Patriots at Texans. So I opened up Texans -2.5. It's now Patriots -2. It's actually a Patriots -2.5 and it went back to 2. So who do you like in this game?
Yeah, as massive of a swing as that is, I still think I'm on the Patriots here. I kind of think the line was a little off to begin with. I don't think the Texans are good enough to be favored by 2.5 points over most teams in the NFL, let alone the Patriots. And, the Patriots haven't been good this year, and they've had some bad games, especially recently. Their game against the Jets very much discouraged me. I called the dynasty over, which I should have known would prompt them to win a game they weren't supposed to. That's kind of what always happens. And there are two major things at play in this game. The first thing is the Patriots' strength is running the ball. The Texans have one of the league's worst run defenses, and they've actually allowed 250 more yards to running backs than any other team in the league on the ground, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that just shouldn't be possible. They've already had their bye week, so it's not like they've had like an extra week of action compared to these other teams. So that's a massive advantage for New England, who wants to be a ground first team. The other aspect in play, I mentioned this last week, this is Romeo Crennel's Super Bowl probably. It's like going to be what I would imagine is his last chance to beat Bill Belichick, because I don't think he's going to get a head coaching job. So this is just his interim head coach chance to beat his former boss. So there is motivation there. It's also probably part of why they didn't look so great against Cleveland, because I think he was looking ahead to this game. So there will be a ton of motivation on the Texans side, at least from Crennel. That said, I don't think the Texans are going to win this game because they are supposed to play the Lions on Thanksgiving and in the 12:30 game. So they have the quickest possible turnaround in this game, basically. And I think it's going to be tough for them to game plan for two at once and take on both the Patriots team that's very good, and then also kind of looking ahead to Matt Patricia's Lions team, which isn't as good as isn't as well coached as the Patriots, but still deserves some attention for Houston, a team that needs to get some wins to remain relevant. So I think I'm going to go on the Patriots -2 for 2 to 3 units. I just think that they should win this game. They have the advantage in the biggest area of this one, and it's on the ground. So I think if they can run it with Damian Harris, if they get Sony Michel back, they'll have Rex Burkhead. They have a lot of weapons, and that's not even including Cam Newton, who can be used as like a bulldozer in the run game too.
Yeah, we have some ugly Thanksgiving games. I was just looking at like Texans at Lions and then Redskins at Cowboys. Like, none of those teams have winning records, so we have to wait till the nightcap for a good game. But yeah, so we're on the same side again. I like to bet against these huge line moves, and like it's now a 4.5 point swing. But I think the original line was incorrect. Like, why is Houston -2.5 over the Patriots? I think that was made because the Patriots almost lost to the Jets, and that was kind of an overreaction to like the line that would have been beforehand. So like the advanced line would probably be the right one. So yeah, I mean, like what you said is absolutely correct. Like the Patriots should run all over Houston. I really can't see the Texans stopping the New England offense at all, especially with Cam Newton now healthy. Like I feel like there's still negative stigma attached to the Patriots, even though they just had the win over Baltimore. People probably remember that the ugly loss to the Niners and the loss to the Broncos, which looks even worse now considering how bad Drew Lock has played since. But Cam Newton was not healthy in that game. And I remember you tweeted out something that a coworker of yours tweeted out where Cam Newton hit his hand on a helmet of a Denver player. And so now Cam Newton's healthy. The offensive line is healthy as well. It seems like the Patriots are trending in the right direction. The Texans are definitely not. So yeah, I like the Patriots here at -2, -2.5, or whatever. If this were -3.5, I would actually consider taking the Texans because, Deshaun Watson could throw a backdoor score or something like that. And it's not like the Patriots are full strength defensively, like although they might be if Stephon Gilmore plays. So I'm right there with you on the Patriots.
Yeah, no, I think it's the right call. I hate looking at massive line moves and betting with them, but I think this one was just wrong. You outlined exactly why. And yeah, Mike just brought this up, and I checked on my phone. Stafford does have a partially torn ligament in his thumb. Ian Rappaport says he's expected to start still, but that's definitely something to keep in mind because if it's in his throwing hand and I saw him doing it on the sidelines during the Washington game, that's definitely going to be something to consider because if he can't get a good on the ball, he might have trouble throwing. So for Carolina, Detroit, we may have two banged up starters, or one banged up starter and a backup, or possibly two backups. We don't know at this point. So that one will be fun to watch throughout the week.
Might be time to win some more money on Philip Walker. I'm looking forward to it.
It might be. If Walker starts and Stafford starts, it might be a Walker game.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago, Stafford had an injured thumb as well. It was a year where the Lions actually were in contention for a playoff spot. I actually think they made the playoffs that year, and they just lost almost every game down the stretch because Stafford had an injured thumb. And so I would definitely not bet on an injured quarterback. I think that's something you should definitely avoid because Stafford's not going to be 100%. So with that in mind, I would definitely switch to the Panthers.
And I will probably lean in that direction as well.
Okay, awesome. So 5 for 5. Let's see. Yep. We keep going.